Whether it's a real yokai or just a phony, I don't know and I don't care, but there's one thing I'm certain of. You're really getting on my nerves. You messed up all of my veins and organs, and you're already healed. Reservoir, clear autumn water, one of the advanced applications of the art. It extracts massive streams of water from sources like rivers, lakes, seas, or underground water. It's called an advanced technique because it can compress to the extent that it transcends the laws of physics. The actual weight is several hundred times more than it appears. The added speed and power exceed that of a fully speeding large truck. Focusing ahead rather than the immediate danger is the form a bat should take. Just by taking the right form for the situation, the power increases significantly. As I've already experienced. Surprisingly, the answer had been determined from the beginning. Ugh. What is having your arm cut off really that unbearable? I've never had my arm cut off, but, you said if you are a real yokai, so you must be accustomed to pain. The reason Yusomi is trembling is not the excruciating pain of losing both arms. Hate. Undoubtedly, a clan that ranks among the divine beasts, and rules over many other yokai, a truly blessed bloodline. One of them, and as the youngest, Yusomi has been cherished and raised. That's why there is no immunity. Shouldn't you be saying sorry by now? The overwhelming sensation of confronting a creature that overpowers oneself, that suffocating pressure. Sorry, what are you on? Well, you've done wrong to me too, anyway, I think I've paid back what I owed. It's not just me, there's someone over there who you should apologize to properly. Go and bow your head and apologize. What? What are you trying to say? I can't believe you're still not getting it, are you going to babble like before? Well, if you find it hard to change your ways, do as you please. I'm so sorry. This is unbelievable. For the first time in 10 years, and it was a very short leave too. I never expected something to happen during that time. Muriang, head of the House of Cultivating Humility. It's my fault. If I had been a little more vigilant, there's no use in belated self-blame. Plus, it's not your responsibility. Initially, it wasn't you and Hungrian's job to entertain him. I knew that the youngest of the Heichi clan was extraordinary, but I didn't think it would be to this extent. So, is Hungrian severely injured? It seems she has some wounds, but nothing too serious. More than the physical wounds, she seemed to be deeply distressed by self-blame for causing the situation herself. But even if it's the black magic of absorption, how could Hungrian predict such a fast absorption rate? It was because of her fast absorption rate that there was an opportunity for reflection. The boy was experiencing a kind of mental cooldown. Unlike the phenomenon 3 days ago, he hasn't completely lost control of his body. He went a little berserk due to his life force, but all the emotions and willpower from before are Saiwa's own. The life force that was the cause has been released, and the emotions that were running high have cooled off. So-called sage time has rapidly kicked in now. Honestly, I think the fight itself was justified. Regardless of personality, someone who resorted to violence, especially to the point of potentially killing someone. Cutting off his arm was also necessary for the nullification of his magic, and even now, I can do it without hesitation. But back then, what I felt was undoubtedly euphoria. Pure pleasure derived from the very act of cutting off the opponent's arms. Maybe it's just a temporary phenomenon. However, may I enter? Ah, yes. You seemed quite injured earlier, are you feeling better now? Yes, it was a very minor wound. But didn't you vomit blood from your mouth? I've experienced it too, and it's not such a minor wound. Please forgive me, Master. I lost control, and I acted in a way I shouldn't have before, Master. No, responsibility for the fight lies solely with those who participated. I'm the one who should be sorry. Even if it was just a rooftop, I could have destroyed it. It's all my fault. Originally, the black spirit bead should never have been offered to Master. The effect you wanted could have been achieved with silver or gold spirit beads. I recommended the black spirit bead, knowing that. So you're saying you've tricked me into this? The black spirit bead is the most expensive one. As you heard earlier. I'm a half-breed, a mix of a human father and a yokai mother. Hybrids, born of both human and yokai parentage, aren't so rare. It's not uncommon, for the two races to form connections and have children. Those born like that inherit qualities from both parents equally. In other words, they belong to neither humans nor demons. In the case of most half-breeds, they are born with an innate vital essence, and they can sense yokai energy, but cannot absorb it into their vital essence. And that is a very miserable and painful matter. Afflicted by a thirst caused by deficiency, knowing that they could quench it at the world's hot spring, but never able to drink from it. Even if we consume medicines like the bright lotus pill, it only wets their parched lips to some extent. That's why I dare to envy you, Master. For our half-breeds, to you, Master, you are a truly miraculous being. Despite being a mix of human and yokai blood, you possess remarkable yokai abilities to the point where they are recognized as officials. Gaining the dark elixir wasn't for personal gain. There is someone who has what I longed for but could never have. Unable to accept it, I resorted to a reckless prank. A crime of cheating and ruthlessness as a vendor. A crime deserving of death. No matter what punishment or penalty, the manner of the apology might be wrong. It doesn't matter what punishment is imposed, in the end, it is shifting the blame onto the person receiving the apology. Master. I must apologize for everything. I am Muriang, the master of the House of Cultivating Humility. Don't bother the acting manager. So go and continue to entertain the guests. However, it's all right. The master will proceed as you wish. I've understood your apology and accepted it. There's no need to be considerate of me any longer. If possible, a refund for that black spirit bead would be appreciated, though. Of course, that's only reasonable. It was more of an excuse than an apology, but I am simply grateful that you've accepted it. Well, it's not a huge mistake, I suppose. If you're agreeable, I'd like to arrange a meeting for reconciliation in the near future. The one who had a conflict with you is named Yuzian. He's the youngest son of the Haiti tribe, also known as divine beasts. The Haiti? Him. He looks quite different from what I imagined. Of course, the Haiti tribe I know is befitting the dignity of divine beasts. If you understand the circumstances. I don't think it will be a significant problem, but I will make you regret this. Surely, there might be misunderstandings that don't favor your side. Before those misunderstandings deepen, we need to have a meeting to explain each other's situations and perspectives. It's because of our carelessness that both sides have faced an unpleasant situation, so please don't be too hard on. It's not necessary to go as far as taking responsibility for the mediation, insisting on it. But my lord, if they come to me, I'll tell them exactly what happened. in my own words. It was his side that escalated the situation from a simple apology into excessive violence and personal insults. So I did what needed to be done. It's a clear case of right and wrong to everyone, and Hungarian and the master should apologize for not apologizing and for a situation that could lead to a fight. I'd rather just fight, as it's more comfortable for me. That's truly a profound statement. The Haiti tribe is never to be underestimated. Even the younger siblings of Lord Uzium would be in a different league from the inexperienced and reckless yokai that the guest fought. Naturally, wouldn't it be like that? I think. I haven't met many yokai, but I've already fought with at least 2 yokai stronger than him. Neither of them seemed like bad people, though. But it can't be helped. In the end, to become the Demon King, I have to fight and win against all of them. That's not something easily heard anywhere. You're not saying it easily, either. If you say such things anywhere else, you could die, right? I know, I'm prepared for that as well. The Uzium kid himself was just rampaging for nothing much right now. If I'd talked about being the Demon King, it would have been a disaster. This child is really... Just thinking about those guys wandering the world 6 months from now, even thinking about it is terrifying. So, how will you somehow try to stop that? Among the things I've heard, this is definitely an audacious and cheeky statement. Laugh all you want, but there's nothing I can say. No, I absolutely have no intention to laugh. Instead, I'm becoming quite intrigued by you, our esteemed guest. I only thought of him as a poor boy who got caught up in bad luck. It seems I made a hasty judgment. Since the previous owner's era, it's the first time I've had this level of intuition after a previous change. This is a gift we give to our guests at the House of Cultivating Humility as a symbol of apology, but, if I say it like this, you might not accept it, so should I word it differently? It might still be too early to talk about, but I want to invest in your future. It's been quite an eventful day. It's almost dinner time already. Where were you? Are you just coming in now? I'm sorry. I didn't realize I'd be out this long. Enough. Well, it's fine. It hasn't been that long, and I just received some information. Information? Ah, hello, Salmi. Are you an idiot? What makes you think that's Salmi? The color of the outfit is different. A summoner that attaches the souls of dead magpies to the feathers of a crow. Be cautious around Salmi. Even though it's a magpie, it doesn't have a single white feather. I've been really upset about it since I was a kid. Salmi may not get angry if you say something by accident due to her personality, but that doesn't mean she won't be hurt. Yes. I'll be careful, anyway. Just now, it was sent by Salmi. She's been running around everywhere since last night, gathering information. Over the past month, there have been several missing person cases throughout the city, a considerable number of. The last known locations of the missing individuals are concentrated in several areas. Perhaps those places are the hunting grounds for the outsiders. Tonight, we plan to hunt them at one of those locations. And before that, there's something you must prepare. Yes. Just tell me what. I can understand if the treatment isn't great. I'm a guest you didn't expect suddenly, and I won't complain about my sudden change in status either. But for everything else, you make me wear these clothes drenched in your sweaty stench. I thought you might have brought something halfway decent, as you've been out for so long. Enough. Even so, this is my most cherished workout gear. Let's go buy some clothes. Right now. This is it, right? The best department store in this country. What was it called? I'm not sure if it's the best in Korea. When you go to the provinces, there are much bigger ones. Humans built it, didn't they? They've constructed something quite impressive without any magic. A young boy at a department store. No, this is his first time buying clothes properly. It's not like he lacked interest. He's at an age where appearance matters, and he had enough determination to save up the allowance. However, as always, there's a problem. Just buying one set of clothes will do, right? Once I lose some weight. Yeah, it's the moment I've been dreaming about for years. Today, right now, I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. Let's go in. Try on anything you want, and if there's something you want to buy, just let me know. Well, I was planning on doing that. I'm grateful, for now. Let me say it once more. It's the boy's first time at a department store. That's why he didn't know. The typical price in a department store. Adela style no, 1-1-3.1-60-123 color, 20, black, size, 03, m, price, 950,000 Korean wons. Your girlfriend must be really lucky. Not many boyfriends out there who buy this much. Why is there an extra zero? Oh my, oh my. Miss. It suits you incredibly well. Well, it doesn't look too bad. How does it look, Choi Siwoo? More than 5 million, it's a relief I had them exchanged. Well, I think it looks cool. Mr. Choi Woo 10-12-17-23, amount, 1,980,000 KRW, one-time payment, Brandon Department Store. Oh, did I ask you to discard what you brought? Yeah, let's stay calm. Siwoo has a lot to learn in the future, and most importantly, the reason I could get gold spirit coins in the first place. Hey, go buy the next outfit over there. You're buying more. What are you saying? You're not even staying here for a day, and you're only getting one outfit to wear. That, oh, right. Come here for a moment. Reach out your hand. Both palms together. Here. Do you think 10 gold spirit coins won't be enough? Well, even if you need a bit more, just tell me right away. If there happens to be any left, you can take it. It's not much, but consider it a token of appreciation. Let's go. How's that? Oh, it's great. What about this? You look beautiful. Really? No way. But why? I'm not quite sure. Just irritated. But, to be honest, I was a bit surprised. About what? It's your first time coming to the human world, isn't it? But when you're choosing clothes, it seems like you have a distinct taste and know more than me. It's because of Salmi. She thinks I'm interested, and she keeps bringing stuff and pushing it on me. It's really annoying. Nevertheless, in the end, you meticulously examined all of it, didn't you? And to be honest, the reason I came to the human world. Oh, I'm sorry. Please be careful, let's hurry up. I thought it was just you, but it seems that humans, as a whole, have retreated. What do you mean? That guy bumped into you because of his own mistake, right? With just a single word on such a subject, a single glance, as if all the problems are solved. You're the same. If he showed such an attitude, you should have made him pay right away. Not to the extent of killing him, but you should have trampled on him so that he would never dare to look you in the eye again. Do you really need to go that far? Yes. It's an issue within the human world, and I don't know all the details, but if a yokai like you shows a limp attitude like that, you'll just be labeled as a weakling, no matter how strong you are. The moment you look like that, you're not a strong one anymore. Even if you're strong, if you can be easily beaten without any consequences, you're just big prey for anyone who happens to win. You probably bowed down to Haiti even though you could have won. You might have had to win, but you would have let him off lightly. How did you know? How did I know? As soon as you entered the house, the smell of a wet dog was practically vibrating. There are other smells that reek, but that kind of foul odor is quite rare. If you're only at the level where you can win, is the youngest of the 3 siblings. Was he a little runt without much dignity? Ugly and all? Well, yeah. Were you already acquainted with him? Not so much acquainted as something like that. He's the brother of my friend's sister. We fought once. Was it about 20 years ago? It felt like there were rumors circulating about me. After hearing that, she started a quarrel over some non-existent rivalry. She's nearly 100 years older than me. Sounds ridiculous. So, did you fight her? Of course, why wouldn't I? If you're going to ask a question, ask whether I won or not. Well, even a question like, did you win or lose, is kinda silly. I stomped her hard. I told her in no uncertain terms that we should never meet again, and that irritating face should stay away from me. Anyway, I haven't seen him since then. But according to Salmi, he's going around making all sorts of threats from behind. Wow. Anyway, the key is, if you're going to stomp, stomp hard. Being a human, you can't instantly adapt to the way yokai think. But at least when you're wielding violence, do it decisively. Ultimately, that's a choice that uses violence less. I'll keep that in mind. Of course, you should be prepared to kill whatever you meet here. Huh. Here, you meet them. Hurry up and come here. Can't you go a bit slower? If we're even slightly late, they say the waiting gets reset. I've been waiting here for a week just to get there. What's with you? I said we need to hurry. What? Where are you? Don't play around, seriously. "20 guys don't taste good except in fighting. It's better to go for the ones next to them." Why are you acting like this? Puppeteer. Let's talk. The upper world is your turf, and the underground is mine. Wasn't it said, each in their own hunting ground, never crossing paths? You seem to have taken that rule quite seriously. Why would we, like siblings, have to end up separated, despite looking so close before? The underground yokai of this land are coming now. They probably tracked our activities. Well, I anticipated this. So, do we need to give up here? The broker's conditions were not to fight with Peninsula yokai, right? To be precise, it was not to cause trouble. In other words, it's okay to do anything as long as we can handle it quietly without causing a ruckus. You know it well. It's been a month since we started hunting. And those over there are just now catching on. All the yokai in this land have fallen to mediocrity. They can't even protect the livestock within my fence. It's almost comical to think they're retreating because they're scared. That's why I decided with my siblings. If we're willing to risk breaking the rules by coming here, there's no need to restrict ourselves to safe prey. Assist me, Chien. Today, 2 Peninsula yokai have come here. We'll catch and consume them. They'll be boasting the same arrogant nonsense. So, the reason you came here in the first place is for clothes. The largest department store in this country. It's said that this place has the highest number of human disappearances. Throughout our travels, I intentionally scattered these seeds. There's no escaping. In places where humans throng, it's better to watch and capture rather than flee. But what's this? Instead of fleeing, those fellows are nesting here. In that case, I must make it clear. This area, no, this city is our hunting ground. They've seriously misunderstood. The reason for the high population flow in this area is not simply because this is the busiest department store in Seoul. A subway transfer station where a total of 3 tracks intersect. A bus terminal connecting Seoul to other regions. These 3 elements overlapping have made it the center of Seoul, with a daily population flow reaching tens of thousands. Certainly, even if there were many missing persons here, it wouldn't be noticeable. If only they could avoid CCTV and people's eyes. No, it might not matter even if there were no such blind spots. If someone were to disappear in the midst of the bustling crowd, most would assume they had simply misperceived or the person had moved elsewhere. Well, I'm not sure about this, CCTV. But judging by the traces felt here, there are 4 of them nearby. They seem to have established their hunting grounds in this way from what I feel, department store, terminal, subway, but I'm not sure what kind of yokai they are. 4. If there are this many, wouldn't it be better to report to the divine judge? If the number is significant and we don't know much about the opponent. If it was a different situation, it might not be a bad choice, but in this case, if that happens, there will be no fight at all. What those guys are doing seems like a kind of provocation. It's like saying, we know you've come to catch us, but we won't run away. In other words, it means there's a contingency plan in place if someone other than us barges in. Even if we call it a contingency plan, it would just mean running away, which is essentially the same as our defeat. Since we are the ones who need to catch them, running away isn't an option for us. I don't know if we could properly pursue them. Unlike them, we are in a position where we must abide by the law. It would be difficult for us to carry it out without causing harm to humans. And they will likely try to exploit this advantage as much as possible. Perhaps the fight will unfold here. It seems unlikely that the area around the subway or terminal will be empty, but the department stores will be closing soon, right? But even after closing, there will still be department store staff remaining, doesn't matter. In that case, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Brandon Department Store Rooftop Garden. Where is Madeir? She left. She said she has no plans to get involved in this matter. I will decline. I'm not uninterested, but I prefer my current leisurely and abundant meal. I won't give up this satisfying situation just to catch 2 measly ones and eat them. I said, there won't be any issues. The 4 of us would be enough. That's your opinion. From my perspective, it sounds like you're inviting me to join a gamble that's at best 50-50. Well, I understand it might sound unpleasant. But what can I do? The ones I've seen for the past month aren't exactly trustworthy. But you're not thinking of forcefully stopping me, are you? Are you serious about that nonsense? You think you can stop us? I have no intention of doing that, so don't worry. Anyway, I have to find a new hunting ground from now on. Since we're parting ways, I wanted to be honest for a moment. Thank you for everything, Ray. Thanks to you, I've learned a lot, but it seems like there won't be any more of that now. Good luck. That ungrateful bastard who doesn't even appreciate the favor, you should have ripped her head off right there. Appa had a subtly tender side towards Madeir. Nothing will change just because she's gone. Anyway, Madeir doesn't have a proper force to begin with. Just us 3 siblings are enough. Well, that's true, but I didn't expect Madeir to refuse, considering how much she loves to consume. Then brother, what are you going to do once we finish off the 2 newcomers who just arrived? No matter what, if it's our kind that's involved, the response will be severe. I have prepared a hiding place. From there, we will continue hunting in this area. In this vicinity? Yes, we'll continue hunting humans while picking off the yokai of this land that are chasing us. Anyway, we have the geographical advantage. As long as we remain mixed among the humans, they cannot exert their full power. But isn't there a limit to that as well? Leaving us alone might be more dangerous for them than a few humans dying, that's the moment when the yokai of this land would think it's all over, right? Yes, that's why we have to consume as much as possible until then. Until when we return to the mainland and reach the realm of the soul. Weiran Bairan, think of the humiliation our family has suffered so far. We might not be able to return to the mainland now. But when we return, no one in the mainland will dare underestimate us siblings. United, the three of us can control the yokai of the whole Central Plains. No. We will rule the era to come and become the kings of yokai. What surprised the three siblings was the sudden surge of yokai force that enveloped the entire building. And there was a voice. Isn't it a bit too late to still be here? Go back home quickly. Right now. Inherent magic, Purple Whisper. With a voice infused with yokai force, it subtly implants a strong suggestion into the other party. The effect is stronger when the gap in yokai force between the parties is significant and when the distance is closer. What? Weren't there 4 people? Casting it from a distant location without direct contact is a considerably challenging application. Yeah, you can't be that stupid. But covering the department store showcases an exceptional genius among the yokai in terms of output and technique. I'm sure this is the presence I sensed just below us until a moment ago. She jumped up to this height in an instant. Let's see. I sensed a smell even inside the department store, but now that I'm closer, I can feel it more clearly. Human insensitivity is somewhat enviable. It's fortunate that this place is relatively open. If it were me, just breathing the same air as you would be painful. This little. Don't get involved in petty provocations, Bairan. And youngest. You go down. Huh. Aren't we fighting together? We have to catch both of them. This one will be handled by Bairan and me. The remaining ones seem to have a faint presence, so you should be able to handle it alone. Catch it and devour it all by yourself. Really? It must have been a regretful decision. If it was, run as far as you can, even alone, you could have saved her life. You sure are generous. In this situation, you should worry about your own life before worrying about our youngest sibling. She's clearly powerful. No matter how low you try to put her, she is at the top of the skill level. If it were us before coming here, we would have been easily defeated. But it's okay. After devouring over 1,000 humans in the past month. We can do it. I like how you can't grasp the situation. Well then. Let's see your abilities. Are you okay? What's this? Earlier, there was an emergency broadcast saying there's some kind of gas leak, so the department store is closing early. The main entrance is still open, so it seems like you can go out through there. Thank you, but did you happen to see a young child around here? A bit taller than me. You mean your grandson, right? I just saw him on the lower floor. I came to look for you because he was worried about you, Grandma. There shouldn't be that many. If you're lucky, there might not be anyone, it's just that I'm whispering to humans in the 3-digit range simultaneously. If you have a certain level of resistance to magical energy, the suggestion may not work properly. You should wander around the department store first and get those humans to leave. About 7 people, perhaps. Just to be sure, I should take another look. It's you. Certainly, your presence is quite faint. I've been searching for a while, but I was still a little uncertain. But, how should I put it, saying this is a little strange, but... Let's just pretend we didn't see each other and not fight, okay? What? Honestly, I came here with the intention of devouring, but from what I see, it doesn't seem like you would be very nutritious to consume. Above all else, why you're my type. Actually, there's no need for yokai to devour each other, right? Unlike my older siblings, I have no interest in being a yokai king. Anyway, it will be our world in 6 months. It'll be enough to be able to eat as much as you like without ever going hungry. You'll be freely devouring in 6 months too, won't you? Then, why not get along well instead of being so uptight? It's not like it's obvious that we're eating here secretly. So, yeah. I really do like you. Did you come up from below? The one who just sent down that human, was that you? I happened to see them coming from the top, so I devoured them. Both the one that was there originally and the one coming down. Silly me, now that we've come face to face, it would be a shame to. Saiwu thought he already understood, but in reality, he doesn't completely understand. Yukai devour humans. The past 3 days were pitch dark. I personally experienced what yukai are and how dangerous they are. And that's why it was only at this moment that I truly realized. The danger I was aware of was limited to what yukai feel toward other yukai. To ordinary people, what yukai represent as a catastrophic threat. Still, even so, aren't you a bit harsh when you are angry? At least say you're angry. Setting that aside, it's quite a twist. Honestly, I thought you were super weak. But looking at it now, you seem really tasty. That's a relief. On the left. Rather than I like it, it's more like I want to eat it. It's a bit less disgusting that way. Haha. What is this? I've completely become a ridiculous sight. I had all the forms of being super strong, but it's incredibly cool. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Is that your unique magic? Yes. So, in the end, it turned out like this. It's not the most pleasant visual, is it? What kind of power? It's not just power. Her recovery ability, and the instantaneous movement to block the bat, I didn't see any of it. Is her appearance really for real? If you get to know this appearance, you might have run away from the beginning without even fighting. Bro. This is my unique magic, or rather, it's my original form. My arms and legs look like this, but my face and torso, they are truly hideous. Not really. It's not the way it looks that's the problem. Yeah, I know. Well, I don't have memories of seeing my parents, so I don't really feel sad or anything, but it's a little heart-wrenching when I see my older sister and brother. Anyway, the 3 of us, without parents, lived in the shadows of the human world. We couldn't even properly maintain our human appearances, and we lived in the sewers, covered in human filth. In an ugly state, without even knowing that our own appearances were ugly. But, look. Now I can be this cute and pretty. Instead of the dark and smelly sewer, I can walk under the clear, fresh sky, basking in the sunlight. Most importantly, it's not such a big mistake to eat humans, is it? We've been doing that for tens of thousands of years except for the last 666 years, and we'll keep doing it starting from 6 months later. Not even a single second I don't want to give up this wonderful life because of some weird rule. I've already lost too much. So, shouldn't you just pretend not to know? After finally meeting a yokai I like, I really don't want to kill because of that rule. First of all, to clarify. I'm not a yokai, and I'm someone who hopes that the rule you're thinking of will continue forever. So, instead of babbling about things that make no sense or empathy, why don't you just charge in? I see. She's even faster and stronger than just now. If this isn't her full power, a head-on fight is completely hopeless. Saiwu possesses all the qualities of a yokai naturally, and it goes without saying that he is exceptional. With his inherent bloodline, his talents, and his real combat experience that has come rushing upon them in such a short time, 3 days ago now his mental strength, skills, and the ability to control yokai energy, among other things, have all contributed to their newfound strength. However, in this particular situation, the opponent they're facing numerically surpasses Saiwu's rate of growth by far. The innate gap in their respective species should be substantial. However, sorry, I'm still not used to handling all this newfound power and speed, as I haven't had it for long. There is one factor that transcends this unfairness. Human flesh. I've almost got the hang of it. I'm confident I can finish this one without any issues. For yokai, it's not just about a rich, nutritious ingredient. Consuming it alone, without any side effects, serves as an extraordinary elixir that provides explosive benefits. Over the past month, consistent and explosive consumption of Wei Lan's flesh resulted in growth so significant that even she herself couldn't fathom. How about using that spell from earlier? Among the attacks you've used, that one was the strongest. Considering the advantage of the range, it's probably the one with the highest chance of winning. That I don't know. Both the speed and likely the power are not significantly different from bare-handed attacks. The spell he used earlier might not be usable as we please. Then, all that's left is to slaughter and devour him. It would have been nice if I had at least known your name. It was nice meeting you. Depending on the way they fought, there was a fair chance of success. However, even so. I see, not taking out the Goblin Club was a gamble he tried with his life on the line. This is how it's used. It's called Goblin Wrestling. And in that gamble, he emerged victorious. A few hours ago, so, did you fight with that black tortoise? I'm not sure if the term fought is the right word. I did put in all my strength, but it didn't seem to have much effect. Even though I tried hard, it felt like he was consistently relaxed on his end. Well, that makes sense. After all, the approach itself was way off from the start. For starters, his blood is thicker than water, and his mastery of force and finesse in handling it are exceptional. While adopting an attitude of indifference to everything but absolutely flawless when it comes to fighting, that's what makes him a true expert. Even if we extend the range to 300, no, 500 years, there are few yokai in the Korean peninsula that can undoubtedly be considered stronger than him. Oh, you're 500 years old, right? So, this story applies to you as well? What did you say? I am sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Of course, I will win. Regardless of age, I am the strongest. So, what did you do when you fought with him? It probably wasn't as satisfying as when you fought against me. I tried using the tools I received from Salmi and Sirium with all my might, trying to overpower him. These days, it's hard to keep up with these youngsters' conversations. Yet, seeing no shock whatsoever, I could definitely sense a wall. He stayed still. Huh. When you applied your technique. Since he's not a physical fighter, he either stood still or you caught him off guard. Alright. While we were shaking hands, then the reason you couldn't deliver any significant impact must be more than just a difference in skill level. Well, it's a simple story. No matter how powerful the magic is, it doesn't make everyone equally strong. Sirium is fundamentally about a contest of strength, isn't it? Seems like I've got a sense of it to some extent. It's good that I'm not feeling frustrated. What are you talking about, huh? It means my judgment was correct. I expected this scenario to unfold, so I left something behind just in case, but still, I was a bit worried. You guys were unexpectedly strong, and I was concerned you might end up getting killed. But well, with your level, you were somewhat usable as a foothold for that guy. I, to be honest, was quite disappointed. I thought you would make me at least pull out around 4 tails, no matter what. Just 3, if I had been determined, 2 would have been enough. There was no need for that, but... I wondered how many of you came into this peninsula, but since in the end, they were defeated on your side, so they must have crossed over secretly. While we're on the subject, you must know to some extent, right? How many of them came over to the peninsula from outside? And who was the mastermind that brought in a few of you, with levels lower than yours, to hide here for a while? You thought I would just tell you that just like that, isn't that obvious? I'm not sure how you do it, but you're the ones who have lived in disguise, breaking the laws. Trying to put on an act like things are in order is just laughable for such entities. So, if you want to save your wretched lives, you better cooperate obediently. No. I refuse. Judging by his yokai force alone, he could be considered somewhat superior even in chi levels. Summon Supreme Demon Suppressing Emperor. Suppress. No matter what you did, the result would have been the same. Despite having that level of force and strength, your actions amounted to nothing more than simply colliding with brute force. Even if you were to become 10 times stronger than you are now, it would be no different. Make sure you understand that prowess comes not from strength itself, but from how you use that strength. Nice clothes. What? Since when have you been watching? I just arrived not long ago, you know. Your reaction is no fun. Saiwa wasn't like this. But, what's wrong with you? You don't seem to be in a good condition. Something happened, a whole lot of. I haven't had a wink of sleep since last night, wandering around the entirety of the yokai realm and the human world. Saiwa, please, save me. I've been gathering information, relaying messages, handling various aftermaths, and even entertaining guests all by myself. There's even a mountain of things to do in the future. Can't you help me enchant a few humans? Well, yeah, I get it, but what do you mean by entertaining guests? Is something happening downstairs? I wonder if there are more yokai left. It's probably Choi Saiwu. They're probably in the middle of fighting. You brought Saiwu here. I told you they were dangerous yokais. They could be more dangerous than Saiwu, yeah, they must be strong. If he's unlucky, he could end up dead. But so what? Should I have matched him up with some small fry he can easily defeat just because it's dangerous? Honing his skills will improve naturally over the course of 6 months. If his lineage were ordinary, he would probably be considered decent at his current level, but unfortunately, that guy is a goblin. Even if we discard the far-fetched tale about becoming the Demon King, the very purpose he holds ensures that the fighting will never cease. If he's not going to fight all those battles on our behalf, then your worries are just futile attempts to block his path. Well, maybe there wasn't even a need to worry in the first place. Blood is thicker than water, after all. Don't fret, just wait patiently. It will be over soon. The attacks are definitely landing properly. And that too, more than 10 times. Something changed in that moment. But what on earth is it? How did it change? Is it possible that he won't fall? Goblin Serum. Unlike the bat, which is a privilege that only a talented few can have, goblins are born with instinctual wrestling skills along with their strength. However, if it's simply a technique relying on strength alone, Goblin Serum could never have been called a magic technique. That's why they are known as yokai who are not just good at wrestling but rather as yokai who cannot be defeated through wrestling. That was the realization the boy obtained. Sorry. After realizing something unexpected, I got too excited. I wanted to become as familiar with it as possible so as not to forget the sensation. Let's finish it now. If it's not about completely neutralizing the impact, there must be some movement that certainly softens the shock. Then, the one I received earlier. I'm giving it back. The movement itself is sealed and struck, minimizing the damage caused by channeling the opponent's power. It's not only the basic principle of wrestling but also of numerous martial arts and self-defense techniques. However, it goes beyond that by not only containing the impact received but also releasing it through the surface contacted by the body to neutralize it. Goblins call it root. Just as it is not easy to break a tree with strong roots, the goblin who grasped the root is the same. As long as they stand strong on both legs, minimizing the damage from the incoming impact and amplifying the power of Goblin Serum beyond the usual boundary than before. Only then will they finally demonstrate their true power.